Was Aster about to defeat Jaden back to duel a new breed of hero? Homecoming duel. Honestly, I watched GX like a long time ago, and I'm excited about this one. I feel like most of the reactions that we have watched for this kind of duels have been for things that I haven't watched. So this one I have watched, and this is kind of a long video, 46 minutes. I wonder why. Let's see.
Jaden versus Aster. These two have 3 duels throughout the series. Duel 1 isn't really a duel, it's just Aster sizing
Yeah,
up Jaden,
he was just playing with a pile of cards.
In fact, he uses
That
a deck
was
made up of 8 random booster packs.
Yeah.
I mean, his opening play is summon Ojama Yellow. I mean, so, oh my god, Chaz, I'm so sorry. I didn't see you there. Duel 2 is serious business.
Yeah,
Jaden's
that's when
elemental hero deck
Jaden
is
loses,
pitted against
I think.
Aster's half elemental hero deck, half destiny hero deck.
And
In
his
a
cards
shocking
become
twist,
white.
Aster wins in the end, and in the process, obliterates Jaden's confidence. In their final duel, this is where all the pieces come into place. Jaden, with newfound resolve and a brand new Neo-Spatian hero deck, spoilers, defeats Aster.
Ah, so we're gonna watch the 3 duels then. Okay.
But that made me wonder. Considering Aster is one of the best duelists in GX, were there really no ways he could have won? With any changes in plays, could the outcome of the duel have been different? Before we jump into the duel,
I was curious about that because at the start they show like how he's one of the top 5 duelists in the world, right? He's like the guy, right? he's like one of the, and it's weird that Jaden just beats him. It's just kind of weird. It's not like even he didn't even defeat like Zane, which wasn't meant to be like a top duelist. He just was the top one in the academy, but not like outside of that, right? Outside of that, he was just like a really good player. So it feels kind of weird that he was defeated. So let's see. Maybe I'm forgetting some detail about it, but yeah, poor Aster gets beat with the worst archetype. No, Jaden loses to Zane, Aster, Kaibaman, and Yugioh. Yeah, but I okay. Let's see.
I want to say thank you very much for buying all the merch over this past year. It's been an absolute success. So much so that I've made over 300 sales now, and the website that I sell my merch on sent me a free jumper.
Wow.
So I got a little treat out of it. So thank you guys so much. If you would like to pick up any of the
Anime protagonists power are really hard for
I'll leave a link down below.
for side characters to overcome.
We've got all of these over here.
I don't think Aster was a side character. He was like a main character for the second season at least.
Jump into the duels.
No protagonist, obviously, right? But clearly not a side character.
Aster goes first. He draws, and his opening hand consists of Ojama Yellow, Soul Absorption, Beckoning Light, Reload, Chaos Greed, and Recycle. Aster summons.
This is an actual pile of cards.
And then ends his turn. Now, with this abysmal starting hand, if Aster was trying to go for the win, he should have shotgun activated Reload immediately, shuffled 5 cards back into the deck, redraw a hand of 5. I assume he would have drew the same cards he would have when he uses it a little bit later. That's probably what he should have done. But he didn't do this.
Jaden didn't lose to Yugioh while possessing Jesse. That was a tie.
It's Jaden's turn, and he draws.
His
opening hand consists of Hero Ring, Elemental Hero Avion, Diffusion, the Flute of Summoning Karibo, Elemental Hero Clayman, and Elemental Hero Sparkman. Jaden summons Sparkman into attack.
Okay.
He enters his battle phase and
I think this is where we see the Clayman metamorphosis thing, right?
Could Jaden have set the Flute of Summoning Karibo or Hero Ring face down? Yes. Is it a big deal? Not really. It's back to Aster, and he draws Wild Nature's Release. With absolutely 0 plays, Aster sets.
I don't remember Aster smiling that
down,
much.
He calls a garbage card. While it's not
Kinda creepy
wrong,
now.
it's kind of harsh. Beckoning Light is not the worst card in the world, so I would describe it as garbage. There's a place for it. Adding back an Honest during the battle phase is a really good strategy, but yeah, it's not great. He's kind of right.
The volume is a little
Anyway,
weird.
Aster is about to activate his reload spell when...
What's the deal? It's cool. Just my cell phone. It's me.
Can you imagine, Chad? Can you imagine?
I'm not busy at all.
Hello, you say? No, I'm not
Aster
busy.
activates reload.
Yes, I can talk.
This
I'm not
card
busy.
shuffles his entire hand back into the deck and then draws the same amount of cards he
The
shuffled.
dub, dude, the dub
Aster
is so
shuffles back
good.
4 cards.
I
He
love
draws
GX
4
dub.
new cards. He gets the Sanctuary in the Sky, Warrior of Zera, Archlord Zerato, and Mystical Shine Ball. Aster activates
Actual
his field
play
spell,
all.
the Sanctuary in the
Actually
Sky.
play all.
Now while this card is on the field, any battle damage involving fairy-type monsters is reduced to 0. Aster summons his Warrior of
Egyptian
Zera
god,
and then
yeah,
immediately
luck,
tributes
yeah.
it to special summon his Archlord Zerato. This card can only be summoned by tributing Warrior of Zera on the field, while Sanctuary on the Sky is also on the field. Not only that, but while Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field, Aster can discard 1 light monster. This card can destroy all monsters on the opponent's
Yes,
side of the field.
The
And
English
so,
dub of
Aster
GX has some funny
discards
lines,
his
even
light
though it
attribute,
never
Mystical
finished.
Shine
Yeah,
Ball
it
from his
sucks that it
hand
was
to
never finished.
destroy all monsters on Jaden's field. Sparkman is destroyed. Wide open, Aster attacks Jaden directly. Jaden takes the first damage of the duel.
Wow.
Aster ends his turn. Now, a case can be made to say maybe he should have held on to that Mystical Shine Ball, use this effect later because it's not really benefiting him too much here, apart from a little bit more damage. And I like the idea, but it actually wouldn't have mattered because you can only use this monster's effect once per turn.
Yeah, field
You can use
spells
it
are really
next
cool in
turn,
the
it's his
anime.
last opportunity to use it, so it doesn't really matter. It would have been nice to have a card in his hand because then the next card he's going to draw is Monster Gate. And he could use Monster Gate by getting rid of that card, but then it wouldn't have benefited him anyway because he still can't push for game. So regardless, it basically wouldn't have worked out for him. It's Jaden's turn, and he draws Metamorphosis. He summons his elemental hero Clayman to the field and then activates Metamorphosis. This card tributes a monster to summon a fusion monster of the same level to the field. Jaden tributes the level 4 Clayman to summon his level 4 fusion elemental hero Clay Guardian.
Clay
He summons it
Guardian.
into
Why
defense.
don't we have it?
When
It looks so
summoned, its
cool.
effect
Wait,
activates.
what's going on?
It inflicts 200 damage to the opponent for each card they control. Aster controls 3, so he takes 600 damage. Jaden sets his flute
Well,
to
it's
summon
printed,
Karibo face
Konami.
down and ends his turn. It's Aster's turn, and the penultimate turn of the duel. He draws and gets Monster Gate.
What is
Aster
Monster
activates his
Gate?
set trap, Beckoning Light. By discarding his entire hand, he can add a light monster in his grave back to his hand for each card he
Okay.
discards. He discards Monster Gate to add Mystical Shine Ball back to his hand. He discards it to use Zerato's effects. Clay Guardian is destroyed. Aster moves into his battle phase and attempts to attack for game. However, Jaden activates his Flute of Summoning Karibo to summon Wing Karibo from his deck straight to the field. A replay occurs.
You know
and
how good
Zerato
Jaden is when a lot of his
destroys
support
Wing
cards
Karibo. With an
his are
empty hand
banned,
and no more
but most of
plays,
his cards are
Aster
trash.
ends his turn. Like I mentioned earlier, there's actually no alternative plays on this turn. If he would have kept his Shine Ball from last turn, he could have discarded it to use the Monster Gate. And then if he would have summoned a big enough monster, but that's very unlikely to happen, and then that means he can't use Beckoning Light because he needs to discard a card, which means he won't be able to destroy Clay Guardian, so it's one of those, there was no alternative plays for him this turn. It's
Okay.
Jaden's turn. And the final turn of the duel.
Yes,
He
I don't use
draws and
Solid
gets
Judgment.
elemental hero Bubble Man.
Wait,
He
really?
summons it to the field. When summoned, while there are no other cards on his field, Bubble Man lets Jaden draw 2 new cards. He gets the Warrior Returning Alive and Polymerization.
Wow, how
With
convenient.
all the pieces in place, Jaden goes for game. He sets his Hero Ring Trap face down and then activates the Warrior Returning Alive to add a Warrior in his grave back to his hand. He adds back Sparkman. With Sparkman and Avion in his hand and Bubbleman on his
He
field,
knows how to
Jaden
draw, yeah.
activates Polymerization. Fusing
Against
all
Jeans.
3
Oh, I think I
together to
remember, I
make
think I remember.
Elemental Hero Tempest. Jaden moves into his battle phase and crashes his Tempest into Zerato. Both would be destroyed, however Jaden uses Tempest's effects. By sending 1 card he controls to the grave, he can make 1 monster on the field and able to be destroyed by battle. He sends his set Hero Ring to make Tempest indestructible. Zerato is destroyed. Now, with a wide open field, Jaden activates his quick play spell.
Wow,
Fusion.
he did that
splits
thing.
Tempest into its fusion materials.
He
and
did
then
that
uses
thing.
All 3 to attack Aster directly. Jaden wins the duel. This is an open and shut case duel. One of my favorites where I actually don't have to do that much work. There was nothing. There were really no alternative plays that could have been made throughout this duel. And if there could, it either resulted in probably not a beneficial play or it just didn't really matter at the end.
Was Clay Guardian only made for this duel just so that Aster would have a little less life points? So that make it exact for this? Is that how it works? Is that what happened? Oh my god.
The end of the day. So yeah, there you go. Could Aster have won this duel?
And yes, Paulo, he did the same
So
thing.
with that silly duel out the way, it's time to get to the two more serious ones. Starting with their first duel, which you might have noticed I made before, but I've included it in this video for continuity reasons. I'm gonna look very different.
You also use mirror force randomly.
So be ready.
So
other than that, let's go into their first proper duel.
All right, this is actually
the duel begins and Aster goes first. He draws, and his opening hand consists of elemental hero Avion, Bestinatrix, Clayman, Sparkman, D-Time, and Destiny
D-Time.
Signal. Aster summons
Chat
Clayman
is
into
D-Time.
defense, then ends his turn. Why didn't he set either of his traps face down, which, keep in mind, would have either let him special summon a Destiny Hero monster from his deck if his monster is destroyed, or potentially add...
Is this an old video? Yeah, is this an old video here? Wait, hold on. Interesting.
Least one Destiny Hero from his deck to his hand? Well, the reason that he did this is quite simple. For plot. By not setting them now, it will make for a more dramatic reveal later, when the Destiny
Well, good thing I haven't
Heroes
watched this.
finally get revealed. If you want to put another reason to it, maybe Aster's just so confident that he can win this duel, he can hold back a little bit every now and then. Regardless, I'm
splices for
going to count
continuity?
this as a misplay for Aster.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
Jaden's
he uses
turn
Phoenix
he
Enforcer
draws.
and Shining
His opening
Phoenix
hand
Enforcer in
consists
the second
of elemental
duel.
hero Avion, Bestinatrix, Necroshade, Polymerization, the
Yeah,
Warrior
he's
Returning
okay,
Alive,
okay.
and Light Laser. Jaden begins by activating Polymerization, fusing his Avion and Bestinatrix together to make elemental hero Flame Wingman. Jaden enters his battle phase and attacks Clayman, which is destroyed. Due to Flame Wingman's effect, Aster is dealt damage equal to Clayman's attack. Jaden ends his turn. It's back to Aster and he draws Polymerization. The dub makes an error here, showing Aster with an almost completely different hand. These dub animation errors are going to happen a lot in this duel, so buckle
no.
up. Aster plays Polymerization, and like Jaden, he also fuses his Avion and Bestinatrix together. However, instead he creates the elemental hero Phoenix Enforcer, whose effect makes it unable to be destroyed by battle. Aster uses Phoenix Enforcer to crash into Flame Wingman. However, only Flame Wingman is destroyed. Aster ends his turn. I just want to quickly touch on something that isn't too important, but it's definitely something worth mentioning.
The animation errors on cards is funny. Yeah, there's no reason why that should happen.
Monsters. We don't see him use all of them, like Blade Edge and things like that. At the very least, he plays the core 5. But what I'm more curious about is his extra deck. Is he playing an identical extra deck to Jaden, with perhaps the only exception being he's playing a Phoenix Enforcer instead of a Flame Wingman? Or does he have completely alternate versions of all of the elemental heroes? Because he does say in this duel that his Phoenix Enforcer sort of mirrors him, like how Flame Wingman mirrors Jaden. That's why they differ. Unfortunately, there's no answer to this because Aster never uses any of the elemental hero fusion monsters, so I can't answer that in today's video. But I'll let you guys be the judge. I did do a poll on this, asking you lot what...
Did Aster Phoenix own every elemental hero that Jaden did during their match? With exception of Flame Wingman, maybe. I assumed he was also playing Destiny here in that deck, and he had like a mix of both. That's what I assumed when I first watched it. I never really give it much thought, so I don't know. What is the obsession of Yu-Gi-Oh with D? It's such a cool letter. It's such a cool letter. Yeah, Flame Wingman and Phoenix Enforcer literally use the same materials and their upgraded forms. Well, he was rich, so he probably should be able to own it. Just have the one difference. I guess so. I guess anyone can have elemental heroes.
What you thought about this, but I'd love to know what you guys think in the comments. Does Aster have an identical extra deck to Jaden? Let me know. Anyway, putting that aside, it's back to Jaden and he draws elemental hero Bubbleman. He summons it to the field and then, due to its anime effect, since it's the only card that he has, he's allowed to draw 2 new cards. He gets elemental hero Sparkman and another Polymerization. He plays the Warrior Returning Alive in order to add Avion back to his hand. Then he activates Polymerization to fuse Bubbleman, Sparkman and Avion together to make elemental hero Tempest. Tempest attacks
I think
Phoenix
Aster is, but we
Enforcer,
never
due to the
know,
latter's
only
effect,
given
it
he
is not
doesn't
destroyed.
fusion
Regardless though,
summon
Aster still takes the
or
damage.
most of the others.
Jaden ends his turn. Let's stop right there. Could Jaden have made a superior elemental hero fusion monster here? Because he had a lot of options to go for. To know the answer
I think
to
he
that,
does, but
we
those
need to
are
know
like
what his
Destiny
extra
heroes, right?
looks like. And guess what? I've made it. This is what Jaden's extra deck looks like at this
Oh
point.
my god.
So if we go back
That's
to
so
when Jaden
cursed.
activates the Warrior Returning Alive,
Wait, we can see Jaden's actual extra deck. That is cursed. Wow. This makes sense. Yeah, this makes sense. Wow.
extra deck
Okay.
looks like at this point in the anime. So if we go back to when Jaden activates the Warrior Returning Alive, let's wait a second and consider our options. Jaden has Sparkman, Bubbleman, Necroshade, and then he can either add Bastinatrix or Avion for materials. Knowing this means his fusion options are Elemental Hero Marina, which wouldn't have helped, Elemental Hero Darkbright, which again wouldn't have helped here. Elemental Hero Steam Healer, well, that definitely wouldn't have helped. Or the final choice, Elemental Hero Tempest, which, despite not having a very good effect at all, it is the only monster he could make that had superior
Probably was running the
attack to
worst
Phoenix
deck ever
Enforcer.
till the
So in
manga
actuality,
only.
Jaden did make the right choice here. It's Aster's turn and he draws his second polymerization. He activates
so good,
it and
though.
fuses his Sparkman and Phoenix Enforcer together
Whoa.
to make Elemental Hero Shining Phoenix Enforcer. Now, due to its effect, it gains 300 attack for each elemental hero in Aster's grave. Since there are 5, its attack increases to 4,000. Oh, and look! Another dub error. Is that VWXYZ drank capital cannon?
What
That
the
should
hell?
be Phoenix Enforcer. How embarrassing. Anyway, Shining
That is such
Phoenix
a weird
Enforcer
thing
then
to-
attacks and destroys Tempest.
That's such a weird mistake. Like, what are they
Aster sets
doing?
in time face down,
Did you just put
and
whatever
ends his
for no
turn.
reason?
It's Jaden's turn and he draws Pot of Greed. He plays it and draws 2 new cards, which are Miracle Fusion and Skyscraper.
This guy keeps
Jaden
getting-
plays Miracle
keeps
Fusion,
drawing
banishing
things.
from
Bro,
his
bro.
grave Flame Wingman and Sparkman to summon Shining Flare Wingman. It too gains 300 attack.
I like to
for every
think he
elemental
had the
hero in
extra
grave.
deck
However,
that was
with only
identical.
4 monsters, Shining Flare Wingman's attack increases to only 3,700. But Jaden has a plan. First, he plays his
So the
equipped
dub
spell,
animators
Light Laser, and
like to
attaches
rush
it to
things.
Shining Flare Wingman.
Yes.
Its effect makes it so it can only be equipped to a light monster, but now any monster that monster battles with is banished at the end of the damage step. Jaden then activates his field spell, Skyscraper, and attacks Phoenix Enforcer. Skyscraper boosts Shining
that's a
Flare
lot of
Wingman's
damage.
attack by 1,000. The damage is dealt, and then due to Light Laser's effect, Shining Phoenix Enforcer is banished. And it is here where Aster switches his strategy. He reveals that since a hero monster was removed from his side of the field, he can activate his trap, D-Time, which lets him add as many Destiny Hero monsters from his deck.
Yeah,
whose
see, it
total
was
levels
Destiny
are
Hero,
equal
then
to or less than Phoenix
it's in the same
Enforcer's.
deck.
Since Phoenix
What are we-
Enforcer
what are
was
we-
level
what are we
8,
talking
he has
about?
the level 4 Diamond Dude and the level 3 Doom Lord. Jaden ends
I was
his
not
turn.
misremembering.
It's Aster's
I
turn,
misunderstood
and he
the
draws
question.
The field spell Clock Tower Prison. He activates it, which destroys Jaden's field spell Skyscraper. Now, every time Jaden's standby phase occurs, Clock Tower Prison will receive 1 clock counter. Then, when there are 4 or more counters, Aster will no longer receive any battle damage. Also, if Clock Tower Prison is destroyed whilst it has 4 or more clock counters on it, then he can special summon 1 Destiny Hero monster from his hand, deck, or grave. Aster summons Destiny Hero Doomlord, and then uses its effect to banish Shining Flare Wingman into the future. It will return to the field 2 turns later, during Aster's
Doomlord is so
second
cool,
standby phase. However, by doing this, Doomlord is unable to attack this turn. Aster sets Destiny Signal face down.
Wait. This scene was cut completely from the dub? Huh?
And ends his turn. It's back to Jaden and he draws Rottweiler. The standby phase occurs and Clock Tower Prison gains its first clock counter. Jaden normal summons Rottweiler and then attacks and destroys Doomlord. Since a monster was destroyed though, Aster activates his face down Destiny Signal to special summon Captain Tenacious from his deck straight to the field. I do like the line that Jaden gives here.
It's my destiny signal.
That's real original. I heard that.
Anyway, Jaden ends his
What?
turn. It's Aster's turn and he draws
What?
D-Shield.
Look, that one has
Standby
a
phase
really
occurs
dangerous
and Captain
effect.
Tenacious's effect kicks in, which lets
I mean,
us summon 1 monster
takes
that was
like
destroyed
3 turns,
during the
right?
previous turn's battle phase. Doomlord returns back from the grave. Following this, Aster normal summons Diamond Dude, and then uses its effect. He reveals the top card of his deck, and then, if it's a normal spell, he can activate it during his next main phase. The card sent is Misfortune. Aster enters his battle phase and attacks Rottweiler with Diamond Dude. It's destroyed and Jaden receives damage.
I wish they kept the names. The Diamond Dude is such a cool name, dude. I'm pretty sure like they used to have like names like that in Japanese. Like they were just dudes. I wish they kept it like that. Diamond Dude is just Diamond Head from Ben 10. I think no, I don't think so. What? It's just Diamond. It's literally one word. What are you talking about? It's nothing like that. Fun fact: Destiny hero Captain Tenacious in the OCG is called Die Hard Guy. Die Hard Guy. What, dude? Yeah, that's what I mean. Oh, they do have that name. It's Japanese that will call him Diamond Guy. Diamond Dude was a top tier card IRL too. I will guess so. Yeah, it seems really good. I'm referring to Diamond Head's appearance. Let me look it up. Hold on. Ben 10 Diamond Head. It looks nothing like him. I thought it was a different one. They just have similar color, not even. I don't know. This is a Die Hard reference. Yeah, I guess it makes sense, but come on, it would be so cool. Yeah, Destiny Hero monsters end with the word guy. Oh, it's guy, not dude. Well, it's still cool, I guess. It was good because it gave you a draw and throw stuff into the grave. Right, you also need things in the grave, I guess. Oh, it's probably gonna send malicious or something. Yeah. Right, let's see.
However, due to the effect of Rottweiler, Jaden can add Polymerization and one elemental hero monster from his grave to his hand. Captain Tenacious, with no monsters left on the field, then attacks directly. Jaden life points are reduced down to a mere 1400. Aster ends by setting D-Shield face down. Eagle-eyed viewers might have noticed something here. Aster still has one more attack, Doomlord. He hasn't used its ability this turn, so it's more than capable of attacking.
Oh.
Well, had Aster attacked with Doomlord, that meant that Jaden would only have 800 life points left, and that'll become very important a little bit later. But that doesn't really matter, because there's an even superior play that Aster could have done here.
Oh wow, okay, so it was like a complete beatdown.
To banish Rottweiler instead. Why? Well, because it allows Captain Tenacious and Diamond Dude to attack directly, which would leave Jaden with 600 life points left. But more importantly, it would deny Jaden the ability to add a elemental hero from his grave and a polymerization. And with no bubble man in his hand and no polymerization, he's bricked. So unfortunately, Aster, I'm going to have to
lost
give you
the opportunity to make a dimension guy.
It's back to Jaden, and he draws Bubble Blaster. The standby phase occurs, and Clock Tower Prison gains its second clock counter. Jaden summons Bubble Man, and then for its effect, he draws two new cards. These are Diffusion and Elemental Hero Clayman.
Joel, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. You could send Oyama Delta Hurricane with Diamond Dude and cast it without meeting the cost of having all three of the field. I kinda want to play that now. I know you have to be like in what, in Edison or something. Probably by the time there must be a format for that. There must be a format where that makes sense.
Jaden activates Bubble Blaster.
Because that sounds so fun.
To Bubble Man. This increases its attack to 1600. Jaden enters his battle phase and attacks Captain Tenacious. But Aster activates his face down D-Shield, which attaches to Tenacious,
based on
switches its
American
defense,
superheroes, and Destiny heroes are based on British superheroes.
Jaden ends his turn. Now I've just realized this.
I don't know British superheroes, but I like the idea.
Polymerization and Diffusion all together. So if he wanted to, he could make a Mudball Man here, and then he has the option to defuse if he wants to, but I don't think that's a great play, so I don't know why I brought it up, but that was an option that was available to him there. I've just realized it afterwards. I didn't write it down, so I just thought I'd quickly mention it. It's Aster's turn, and he draws Terraforming. The standby phase occurs, and since 2 turns have passed, Elemental Hero Shining Flare Wingman returns to the field. Aster reminds Jaden of Diamond Dude's effect. Misfortune, the card that
I appreciate this duel
the last turn,
has a literal clock
half
ticking
of
down
the
to
original
Jaden's losing
attack
outright.
points of a monster are dealt as damage to the owner. Aster targets Shining Flare Wingman. Jaden receives 1,250 damage, which leaves him with 150 life points.
So he will have lost
when I
here.
The previous turn, he attacked with that Doomlord. Well, had he attacked with that Doomlord back then, Misfortune's ability right here would have won him the duel. Regardless,
But we would have seen the big guy, the dread guy. I don't remember the name.
due to Misfortune's second effect, Aster isn't able to declare an attack. So instead, he re-banishes Shining Flare Wingman through Doomlord's effect and ends his turn. It's back to Jaden and he draws Burial from a Different Dimension. The standby phase occurs and Clock Tower Prison receives its third clock counter.
I mean, the moment the Clock Tower
hits
hits 4, Jaden
Doomlord is
chance
destroyed and Aster receives 1000 damage, leaving him with a mere 600 life points left. Jaden summons Elemental Hero Clayman into defense and ends his turn. It's Aster's turn and he draws Ring of Magnetism. The standby phase occurs and Doomlord is revived through Captain Tenacious's effect. Aster uses the effect of Diamond Dude again to reveal the top card of his deck. The card revealed is Magical Stone Excavation. It is sent to the grave. Aster then uses Doomlord's effect to banish Bubble Man for 2 turns. Bubble Blaster is destroyed as a result. Following this, he plays his Ring of Magnetism, equipping it to Captain Tenacious.
Yeah, this duel was Aster
100%,
100%.
but makes it so that it is the only monster that can be attacked on his side of the field. Sadly, since Clayman's defense is too high, Aster is forced to end his turn here. It's
no,
Jaden's
Diamond
turn.
Dude is not a Gem
Elemental
Knight,
Hero
clearly.
Wildheart. We actually get to see his hand here, and it's completely wrong in the dub. What his actual
what the
hand should
hell
look
is
like
that?
is this. Burial from a Different Dimension, Defusion, Necro Shade, Wildheart, and Polymerization. The standby phase occurs, and the fourth Clock Tower
every
counter
good
is
card
added
on
to
Diamond
Clock Tower
Duel is
Prison.
unreal.
Now,
Yeah.
unbeknownst to Jaden,
It's almost like this is
all
scripted
battle
or something.
Damage to Aster
Messed
is
up.
negated. Jaden plays his Polymerization to fuse Wildheart and Necro Shade together to make Elemental Hero Necroid Shaman, whose effect is when it's summoned to the field, Jaden can pick one monster on Aster's side of the field to send to the grave, and then special summon one monster from his grave to replace it.
They're based on the aesthetic of American superheroes are flashy and sometimes over the top, while British superheroes are more mysterious and brooding. I would assume this was more like Watchmen things or like Batman stuff, like that kind of heroes, while the other ones were like more flashy. Like, I don't know if Watchmen is British. I don't know about that. Maybe it is. I don't know. I'm not like. Well, Watchmen is American. Yeah, that's what I was. That's what I thought. But there's different aesthetics. Not that that is American and British, but these are basically these kind of heroes. Is it not? Like those kind of like comics. I could be completely wrong. What do I know? Destiny heroes are more like anti-heroes. Yeah.
Jaden chooses Captain Tenacious to go to the grave.
Yeah, more anti-heroes, and D-Time such
also destroyed as a
more
result.
men like
Then he declares Avion
sophisticated.
To be summoned to the field
Okay.
in attack position. Necroid Shaman then attacks and destroys Doomlord. However, Aster takes no battle damage thanks to his field spell. Jaden sets Burial from a Different Dimension and Defusion face down and ends his turn. Now, while this turn is absolutely fine, Jaden
I don't know why the
could have
double
built
characters
a little
random
bit more
cards
on
like
display.
Arfin and
After attacking
Diffusion
Doomlord with
yeah.
Necroid Shaman, he could have also used
Such a weird
Defusion
mistake,
to
right?
bring Wildheart and Necroshade to the field. Both could then attack over Diamond Dude and Avion, literally wiping out Aster's entire field. Of course, Aster won't take any damage from this, but now his field is completely empty. However, I can see why Jaden might not do this, because it runs the risk of one of his monsters getting attacked, and he's only got 150 life points left. And of course, Jaden knows about Diamond Dude's ability, which is going to get Magical Stone Excavation next turn. He could assume he's going to get Misfortune back, and ultimately Defusion will save his life if he holds on to it. So, I'm not going to count it as a misplay, it's fine. Anyway, it's back to Aster and he draws Fusion Sage. The standby phase occurs and Shining Flare Wingman returns to the field once again.
Oh my god, he's
Aster's
back!
Diamond Dude's effect also kicks in from the previous turn, allowing Aster to activate Magical Stone Excavation. This card allows him to add one spell from his grave, as long as he discards 2 cards. He discards Fusion Sage and Terraforming to add back Misfortune. He plays it again on Shining Flare Wingman. If this is successful, Aster wins the duel. However, Jaden, smartly I might add, plays Defusion and then chains Burial from a Different Dimension to it.
Chains?
The reason why this is really clever is because Jaden considered like how things resolved so that Defusion would work. What I mean by this is that effects resolve in reverse order in Yu-Gi-Oh! So, Burial resolves first since it was activated second, which meant that he could add Wingman and Sparkman back into his grave. And then Defusion would resolve second since it was played first. Now, since the target is no longer present, Misfortune's effect fizzles. However, what doesn't fizzle is that Aster can no longer attack this turn. Aster is forced to end his turn here. And unfortunately, I'm sorry to say, Aster, you misplayed again. You got a little bit greedy this turn. If you would have picked any other monster apart from the fusion monster, you would have won. If you'd have picked Bubble Man, I know it's only 400 damage, but that's enough to win you the duel, and you can't defuse a Bubble Man. Now, of course, to know this, you would have to assume that Jaden does have a defusion in his deck. It's a fusion deck, he's played defusion a lot. It's safe to kind of assume that. However, if I was in Aster's shoes, I probably would have picked Shining Flare Wingman as well. Because it's the biggest monster on the field, it's going to deal the most amount of damage. There's always a chance, because Jaden has 2 face downs, that he's got maybe a elemental recharge. Or something along those lines that could give him life points back. So I guess you'd want to do as much damage as possible. Anyway, it's back.
Wait, they made Diamond Dude worse in the anime? You don't have to pay the spell's cost, IRL. I don't know. I don't know. I guess that's the case. Know what this is going to sound insane, but I really don't like the proper first Aster versus Jaden duel. Yes, it has the qualities I like, but I just leave bad taste in my mouth. I don't know why. What are you talking about? Are you talking about the first one? Or are you talking about this? I don't see the issue in anyways.
Back to Jaden, and he draws Fusion Gate. He activates it, which causes Clock Tower Prison to be destroyed. However,
this one, I like
this
it.
is what Aster wanted. Now, since Clock Tower Prison was destroyed, while it had 4 clock counters on it, its final effect kicks in.
Oh my god,
Aster
that's the
special
guy!
summons his boss monster, Destiny Hero Dreadmaster. When summoned, Dreadmaster destroys all non-Destiny Hero monsters on his side of the field. Then, it special summons 2 Destiny Hero monsters from his grave. Aster summons back Doomlord and Captain Tenacious. Now, Dreadmaster's original attack points become equal to the combined
By
attack
AVN,
of
that
all
is symbolic
other
or something.
Destiny Hero
I don't know why,
monsters
but
on
it
his
is.
side of the field. Lastly, and most importantly, and unbeknownst to Jaden, during the turn Dreadmaster is summoned, Destiny Heroes cannot be destroyed, and the owner receives no battle damage from battles.
AVN catching strays every
and
time.
unfortunately, it is here that Jaden makes a huge misplay. He activates the effect of Fusion Gate, banishing his Clayman and Sparkman to make Elemental Hero Thunder Giant. Due to its effect, when it's fusion summoned, it can
This is a
destroy
part of the
one
British thing,
monster
since
with
Clock
less
Tower
original
is
attack
based on
than
the
it.
old prison of
Jaden
the Clock
chooses
Tower of
Diamond
London.
Dude, with the hopes of reducing
Yeah, same with the
Dreadmaster's
T
attack,
of
making
tea
it weak enough
time.
to be destroyed by
It's
battle.
very British.
However, this is where Aster reveals his Dreadmaster's protection abilities.
I never thought about
Nothing
that,
is destroyed.
honestly.
Jaden reluctantly ends his turn here. We'll come back to this turn in just a second, but for now, the final turn. It's Aster's turn.
Because the Clock Tower, you don't like stall cards? Yeah, I understand why you wouldn't like stall cards, but it makes sense for the theme of the anime, of this episode at least. It makes sense in this context. Also, Jaden loves Avian when using Fifth Hope. It's a card that shows up in his graveyard. And this big dude being one of the most famous prisoners of the Clock Tower. Yeah, that's Sanji, right? From One Piece. Yeah.
Turn and the final turn of the duel. He draws, but it doesn't even matter what it is, as Aster simply enters the battle phase.
Back when
attacks,
stalling
and
was,
wins the duel.
it makes
The
sense.
question now becomes, could Jaden have won this duel? Let's find out.
To summarize, no.
His cards!
Let's go back to Jaden's final turn. He activates
Could he
the
actually?
effective Fusion Gate and fuses Sparkman and Clayman together to make Elemental Hero Thunder Giant. How about instead of that, we make Elemental Hero Shining Flare Wingman again, since it's back in the extra deck. This would create a stronger monster than Dreadmaster, and would also let him keep Clayman on the field in defense.
Question, has anyone ever requested you to watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Dub Funny Moments? I already watched all of those, and I also cannot rewatch them because of the YouTube will block them for reacting to that content. But I know, if you're gonna reference it, I already watched it probably. That is something that I watched since ever.
So now Jaden would have Shining Flare Wingman, Clayman, and Necroid Shaman. This time when Jaden declares an attack on any of the monsters, thinking he has game, when that fails, he can simply switch Necroid Shaman to defense, since it hasn't declared an attack yet. Now,
This
when
also
Aster's
mentions
turn
Aster father
happens,
being
depending on
killed,
whether he draws another monster,
kidnapped in
he will now
the-
have to banish
in the
Flare
dub, yeah,
Wingman
yeah,
with
yeah.
Doomlord's effect, since it's now a threat. Dreadmaster would then attack over Necroid Shaman, since it has a high attack and would be a threat next turn. However, now Jaden's Clayman's defense is too high for the rest of the Destiny Hero monsters to get over. Aster will have to end by using Diamond Dude's ability once more, and that's it. Jaden gets to live for another turn. He gets to draw a card, and depending on what that is, he might be able to make a comeback. Honestly, it's anyone's game after this, but what we have done is bought Jaden another turn and a potential to possibly win the duel.
And with that, that's
Doubt.
the second duel
Honestly,
done.
doubt.
Let's move on to their final duel. The duel
Like, if
begins-
hold on, if we think about the things that Jaden could have done like differently, to win, we should also count the things that Aster could have done different to win earlier, and I think that's more.
and Aster goes first. He draws, and his opening hand consists of Destiny Hero Diamond Dude, Destiny Hero Doomlord, Destiny Hero Captain Tenacious, Ring of Magnetism, and 2 mysterious cards. Now, these 2 mysterious cards are
Interesting
going to
about
get
the
blown
missing
up by Jaden, and we never see them, or
fire
they never
thing.
get referenced throughout the rest of the duel. They're not monsters. I think they're spells or traps, most likely trap cards, so they get blown up, but they have to have been useless because he doesn't set any of them on the first turn, so whatever they are, it doesn't matter. Aster summons his Diamond Dude to the field. He activates its effect to reveal the top card of his deck. If it's a normal spell, it will be sent to the grave, and its effect will be activated on his next main phase. Graceful Charity is revealed. It is sent to the grave. Aster ends his turn. It's Jaden's turn, and he draws. His opening hand consists of Neospatian Aqua Dolphin,
Oh, yeah.
Elemental Hero Blade Edge, Hero Kid, Fake Hero, H-Heated Heart, and Negate Attack. Now, I just want to mention something about this duel. Neospatians are fan favorite cards, don't get me wrong,
But
not great.
they are
if I'm
bad.
completely
Say
honest
it.
with you. They tear through your deck very fast because they require so much resources to be used. Like, you need the field spell, you need this on the field, you also need to get Neos, which needs a card to get it out and stuff. So you're going to notice that Jaden's duel, he's going to tear through his hands as soon as he gets them. And he's going to require a lot of, a Pot of Greed. Oh, Graceful Charity. He's gonna get a lot of those
yeah, I
cards.
hate
So
that.
Just keep that in mind throughout the duel. I think
Like,
it's
yeah,
kind of
if you draw more cards, I'll let you draw
Jaden summons his
cards.
Aqua
You don't have an
Dolphin to the
advantage,
field.
obviously.
He activates Fake Hero, which lets him special summon an elemental hero in his hand. However, it can't attack, and it's returned to the hand at the end of the turn.
But it's used
he
to
summons
fuse.
Elemental Hero Blade
Wait,
Edge.
this is not gonna fuse.
Jaden activates Aqua Dolphin's effect by discarding a card in his hand, so he can look at Aster's hand and destroy a monster in it if it has less attack than a monster on his field as well. Aster will also take 500 damage. Jaden discards his Hero Kid. He looks at Aster's hand and chooses Destiny Hero Captain Tenacious to be destroyed, since Blade Edge has higher attack. Aster takes the first damage of the duel. Jaden sets
I thought the
Negate
only good
Attack
one was,
with
like, the
H-Heated Heart
mole.
face down and ends his turn. As he does, Blade Edge returns back to his hand. Can I just say as well, I've just noticed that he didn't even deal with the Diamond Dude on the field. He's just used his entire hand. His hand is gone. And Diamond Dude
Nothing
is still on
happened.
the field. Oops. It's back to Aster, and he draws Elemental Recharge. The effect of Graceful Charity activates here. Aster draws 3 new cards. He gets Destiny Hero Dreadmaster, Mausoleum of the Emperor, and Destiny Signal. He discards Destiny Hero Doomlord and Ring of Magnetism. Aster activates his field spell, Mausoleum of the Emperor. Now, while this card is on the field, both players can summon high-level monsters without tributing by instead paying 500 life points for each tribute.
Yeah, Aqua
required.
Dolphin is good
Aster
now.
pays 1,000 life
Yes.
points to summon Destiny Hero Dreadmaster without
Like,
tribute.
not good, but, like,
Dreadmaster's
okay.
on-summon effect activates. It destroys all of Aster's monsters that aren't Destiny Heroes, and then special summons up to 2 Destiny Heroes in his grave. The attack and defense of this card is the total attack of all other Destiny Heroes on the field. Aster summons back Captain Tenacious and Doomlord. Dreadmaster gains 2,800 attack and defense. Aster moves into his battle phase and attempts to go for game as he attacks
Jesus.
Aqua Dolphin with
Already?
Dreadmaster. However, Jaden activates Negate Attack
Is
to
that
negate the
easy?
attack and end the battle phase. Aster ends his turn. It's Jaden's turn, and he draws Elemental Hero Neos. Fun fact, the animators got the card wrong,
Yeah,
as
that's
Jaden's
it.
shown drawing Mausoleum of the Emperor.
Yeah.
I think this happens because Jaden verbally said, I'm going to use your card against you, Mausoleum of the Emperor. Maybe the animator was like, oh, okay, so he's drew that card as well to use. Unless it was just a mistake, I don't know. Jaden pays 1,000 life points to use Mausoleum to summon Neos without any tributes. Jaden contact fuses Neos and Aqua Dolphin together to summon Elemental Hero Aqua Neos. He activates its
That card
effect.
looks so creepy
Once
to me.
per
I don't know
turn, by
why.
discarding one card, Jaden can select 2 random cards in the opponent's
That's
hand
visible
and
that
destroy
affect
them.
both
Jaden
sides.
discards Blade Edge. Aster's 2 mysterious cards in his hand are destroyed and sent to the grave. Jaden follows up this play by activating his set Heated Heart. This
Heated
increases
Heart.
the attack of a monster by 500 and gives it piercing battle damage until the end of the turn. Aqua Neos attacks and destroys Dreadmaster. With no more plays, Jaden ends his turn. However, as he does, the detrimental effect of Neos fusions activates, which
Why was that a thing? I still cannot like understand. Why was that a thing? It's so bad. Why? Well, that ruined the archetype. That's why it's still not playable, right? You need to use the like extra cards for they to stay on the field. I know it's a way to balance it because they don't need polymerization, I guess, but you still need the both of them on the field. They wanted to make it fair, yeah, but it was never good, right? Contact fusions as a concept became good with literally every other contact fusion archetype. Yeah, not the first one. Actual ass. They literally made Aster play a field spell so Jaden doesn't breathe.
Forces them back into the extra deck at the end of turns. So fun fact, Jaden had absolutely no idea about this detrimental ability. It's like the first time he's using the Neos fusion, so he's like, well,
that's what you need to read your cards.
The card. Oh, whoops, I won't do that again. So at least he's reading his cards now. But was there any alternative plays he could have gone for? Well, instead of contact fusing, I mean, ripping 2 cards out your opponent's hand that's an incredible ability to have. That's very strong. Do you think that was the right move to make? But having your monster go back into the deck? In hindsight, somehow Jaden survives the next turn. Absolutely crazy. But had we not known he was going to survive, then yeah, he probably should have a different move. Either summon the Blade Edge or the Neos, and then boost its attack by 500.
Jaden is beating the allegations. He's a true Yu-Gi-Oh player,
and
yeah.
You get to keep a monster on the field, which is good. I thought maybe he could do piercing battle damage and attack like Captain Tenacious with 800 defense, but it's not enough to go for game. So 3,100 minus 800. Aster's got like 2,500 life points. It's a lot of damage, but not enough to push for games. So
can the anime
yeah,
characters even read
what
their
he
cards?
did
Don't they have
turns out
hidden
to be the
abilities?
best
I don't
possible
think
choice
so.
he
They
could
should
have
be
done,
able to
but
read
there
them.
were
They have
alternative
text,
plays.
at least in the
Aster's
Japanese
turn.
version, right?
And luckily for Jaden, he draws Dark City. Without a monster
They have
to
everything
push the
written
game
there.
this turn, Aster moves straight into his battle phase and orders Doomlord, Diamond Dude, and Captain Tenacious to all attack Jaden directly. Jaden survives by the skin of his
Beating him
teeth.
up.
Aster ends his turn. Honestly, it's such a shame that Aster couldn't get a monster on this turn, but obviously if you don't have the cards to bring a monster to
You're right. At least he read it afterwards, right? Imagine if he just stay confused without reading them.
you can't win, can you? Oh wait, he does! He has a monster on the field that has the very special ability that once per turn during your standby phase, you can target one Destiny Hero monster in your graveyard that was destroyed by a battle the previous turn and special summon it. Meaning, he could have summoned Dreadmaster back to the field, summon it into attack, everything would have attacked directly.
Well, he has no restriction. You can just special summon this from the graveyard, right? Interesting.
5,600 combined attack? What? I have absolutely no idea why Aster didn't do this play, because he did it before. Dreadmaster was destroyed by a monster battling it, so I don't understand. It's a huge misplay, Aster. I guess the only reason this happened is so that Jaden can go on to win the duel. It's Jaden's turn, and he draws Elemental Hero Bubble Man. Since Bubble Man is the only card in
yeah,
Jaden's
you draw
hand,
two
he can
cards.
special summon it to the field. As well, since it was summoned to a completely empty field, Jaden can draw 2 new cards. He gets Pot of Greed and Bubble Blaster.
Bruh,
He activates
shut up,
Pot
dude.
of Greed
What
to
is
draw
this?
2 new cards. He gets Neospatian Air Hummingbird and Disgraceful Charity. Jaden activates Bubble Blaster, equipping it to Bubble Man to increase its attack by 800, and make it so that Bubble Man's destruction can be negated once by destroying this card instead.
I remember
Jaden
this new
summons
special
his
set is bad.
Neospatian Air
Bruh.
Hummingbird and uses its effect, which allows Jaden's life points to be increased by 500 for each card in the opponent's hand.
What a suck.
Since there are 3, he gains 1,500 life points. Jaden enters his battle phase and orders Bubble Man to destroy Captain Tenacious. Air Hummingbird destroys Doomlord. Jaden sets his Disgraceful Charity face down and ends his turn. I'm just gonna throw this out there.
I think the name
Aster
specials
should have
are
threw that
awesome,
Destiny
yeah.
signal face down on the field either on the last turn or the turn before, because then you can get some serious board presence. But you know, you do you, dude. Just leave these cards for absolutely ages. It's Aster's turn, and he draws Destiny Hero Double Dude. He activates a new field spell, Dark City. Mausoleum of the Emperor is sent to the grave. Now, while this card is on the field, Destiny Hero monsters gain 1000 attack when they attack a stronger monster. Aster tributes Diamond Dude to summon Double Dude. Double Dude has the ability to attack twice, and if it's destroyed, it summons 2 tokens during Aster's
What a
next
cool
standby
card.
phase. Double Dude attacks Bubble Man. Dark City boosts its attack to 2000.
I don't remember this Grateful
Bubble Man
Charity.
isn't destroyed and no battle damage is dealt, since Jaden sent Bubble Blaster to the grave to protect it. However, Double Dude attacks again, this time targeting Air Hummingbird. It is destroyed. Aster sets his Destiny signal face down and ends his turn. Now,
Wow, he did it. He did the thing. He set the card. Well, Neos fusions, when they return to the extra deck, have a powerful effect like Storm Neos, Nebula Neos, banishes all cards your opponent controls face down, and Cosmo Neos destroy all cards your opponent controls. Yeah, but we're talking about the basic ones. The ones that we're seeing right now. Oh yeah, I heard about the Air Neos case, the redacted Neos. You like the mask hero? I don't like the mask heroes. I understand the concept, it's just not for me. Even Yugioh, yeah, okay.
protect it. However, Double Dude, Aster sets his Destiny signal face down and ends his turn. Now, I know Aster's life points are
Yeah, it's
pretty
like an
low
anti-hero
here. He's only got
concept, yes.
1300, but he should have
For
used
the Destiny
Mausoleum of the
heroes.
Emperor before he put Dark City on the field. Use Mausoleum, pay 500 life points, summon Double Dude. You've now got Double Dude and Diamond Dude, and then you put Dark City on the field. How would this have changed the turn? Well, had this been done...
Wait. This Grateful Charity's effect is pretty simple. Any cards that were discarded to the graveyard, you get them back to your hand. That sounds really good. That sounds really good. I don't know a better description, honestly. Probably someone who is like really into superhero comics can give like a better description of this. Maybe there is an actual name for this archetype.
done, Bubble Man would also have been destroyed this turn, and Jaden's life points would have been reduced to 900. This means that Jaden won't be able to make his play on his next turn, which means Aster just wins on his next turn. So yes, net again. Aster, you've misplayed again. Honestly, I really think they nerfed Aster big time in this duel because he's missing so many opportunities with cards on his field. It's kind of nuts.
But he was already like
turn,
missing
and
stuff
he
in the
draws
previous duel,
Graceful
so I don't see it
Charity.
as...
He activates it to draw 3 new cards.
This guy
He
keeps
gets
drawing
Neospatial Flare
cards!
Scarab, Common Soul, and Kidguard. He discards Flare Scarab and Common Soul. Since a card was discarded due to a spell effect, Jaden can activate his set trap, Disgraceful Charity. This lets him add all cards discarded by a spell effect back to his hand. Jaden adds back his Flare
Jesus
Scarab
Christ.
and Common Soul. He activates
What a
Common
hand.
Soul. Now he can select a monster on the field and then special summon a Neospatian in his hand. The selected monster on the field gains attack equal to the attack of the monster summoned. When this card is removed from the field, the Neospatian summoned by this effect is returned to the hand. Jaden targets Bubble Man and summons Neospatian Flare Scarab. Flare
What an interesting
Scarab's
animation for
effect
that.
increases its attack by 400 for each spell and trap Aster controls. Since Aster controls 2, Flare Scarab gains 800 attack. Bubble Man gains the attack of Flare Scarab thanks to Common Soul. Jaden enters his battle phase and attacks and destroys Double Dude with Bubble Man. Since a monster Aster controls was destroyed by a battle, Aster activates his Destiny Signal, which lets him special summon a level 4 or lower Destiny Hero from his deck. He summons the 2700 defense Destiny Hero Defender.
27?
Unable to attack
What the
over
hell?
Defender, Jaden ends his turn. Now,
I forgot about that
unfortunately
thing.
for Aster, he's made a misplay here because he could have won on his next turn. How? Summoning any other monster apart from Defender. Don't get me wrong, I understand why Defender. 2700 defense, that's a really tough monster to get over. But the detrimental ability of Destiny Hero Defender is 1, it has no attack points, and 2, your opponent gets to draw an extra card for each of their
like
turns.
Jaden needs
That
more
sucks.
cards.
We don't want to give our opponent that. Plus, it also means now on
My
our
dull
turn,
man.
we can't go on the offensive. So what
So,
should we have done instead?
unwalking?
The winning play was to summon Destiny Hero.
It's a lot for level
Donker.
4, yeah.
It has 1700 defense, making it strong enough to survive Flare Scarab. With 1200 attack, it can also contribute to the offense on the next turn. So now what happens when it gets to Aster's turn, he draws Mystical Space Typhoon. 2 Double Dude tokens are summoned to the field into attack. Activate Mystical Space Typhoon, destroy Common Soul. Flare Scarab is bounced back to Jaden's hand, and Bubbleman's attack returns to 800. Switch Dunker into attack. Double Dude token number 1 attacks Bubbleman. That's 200 damage. Double Dude token 2 attacks directly. That's 1000 damage. Destiny Hero Dunker attacks for game. Aster, you misplayed again. That's like the 3rd or 4th time you could have won this duel so far. Woofed. It's Aster's turn, and he draws Mystical Space Typhoon. The standby phase occurs, and 2 Double Dude tokens are summoned to his field. Aster uses Mystical Space Typhoon to destroy Common Soul. Since Common Soul was removed from the field, Flare Scarab is returned back to Jaden's hand, and Bubbleman's attack returns to normal. Aster enters his battle phase and uses 1 Double Dude token to destroy Bubbleman. The second attacks Jaden directly. Aster ends his turn. Wait a minute. Now that I think about it, he didn't need to do all that on the last turn that I suggested. He can still win this turn. We've got Dark City on the field. Switch Defender into attack. Yeah, it's only got 100 attack points.
Oh my
wait a minute.
god.
Attack Bubbleman. We gain 1000 attack points thanks to Dark City. Guess how much extra damage we do? 300. Meaning we get perfect game. Oh my god.
No.
It doesn't end. There's so many ways.
Is this
just
bad writing?
It's ridiculous. Aster.
This has to be bad
what
writing,
is the
right?
plot? Is it the plot? Is the plot making you do this? It's back to Jaden, and he draws the Shallow Grave. The
You can tell the
standby
writer
phase
started with
occurs,
this
and
third
due to
duel.
Defender's
Totally.
detrimental effect, Jaden draws an additional card. He gets Spell Calling. Jaden activates the Shallow Grave, letting both players summon a monster in their graves into defense. Jaden summons his Hero Kid. Aster summons his Dreadmaster. Due to Hero Kid's effect, when it is special summoned, it summons 2 more copies of itself from the deck to the field. Due to Dreadmaster's effect, when it's summoned, the 2 Double Dude tokens are destroyed. Aster summons Diamond Dude and Captain Tenacious into defense. Dreadmaster's attack and defense increases to 2300. Jaden summons his Flare Scarab back to the field and uses it to attack and destroy Captain Tenacious. Jaden sets his Kid Guard and Spell Calling face down and ends his turn. Note that Dreadmaster's ability that prevents monsters it summons from being destroyed by battle on the turn that it summons them only works if Dreadmaster is summoned into attack, because I was about to lay into Aster saying like, oh, your monsters shouldn't have been destroyed because Dreadmaster summoned them, but it had to be summoned into attack to have this ability.
That's such an interesting
wasn't
condition.
Couldn't have been because of Shallow Graves. But that might all be a lie as well, because there is a version of Dreadmaster that does state that it doesn't need to be summoned into attack to protect the monsters when it's summoned. So I'm actually not too sure. There's 2 different versions of Dreadmaster floating around. I don't know which effect is being applied here because the Japanese text is so small. You can barely see. It's
That's
just,
kind of hard
if you
to
see the
read.
word attack position on that card, then the former applies. If not, then this version applies, which means that Aster did
Aster is one of the top 5 duelists in the world.
It's
writer.
inconclusive. It's Aster's turn, and he draws Pot of Greed.
He's so good.
He
Look,
activates
he
it
drew
to draw
Pot
2
of
new
Greed.
cards. He gets D-Shield and Destiny Hero Dogma. Aster tributes Dreadmaster, Defender, and Diamond Dude to special summon Destiny Hero Dogma. Aster moves into his battle phase and orders Dogma to attack Flare Scarab, attempting to go for game. However, Jaden activates his Kid Guard. By tributing a Hero Kid, he can negate an attack and then add an elemental hero from his deck.
What
to
a
his hand.
specific card.
One of the 3
Wow.
Hero Kids are tributed. Dogma's attack is negated, and Jaden adds elemental hero Neos to his hand. With no more attacks, Aster ends his turn by setting
Pot of Greed is
D-Shield
used so
face
many
down. And again,
times
I
in
have to ask,
EX duels
Aster
until it stop appearing.
could have won the duel. Before summoning Dogma, he should have switched Dreadmaster, Diamond Dude, and Defender into attack. Dreadmaster attack Flare Scarab, attempting to go for game. Kid Guard negates the attack.
Well,
attack again
he
with
didn't
Diamond
know
Dude.
Kid Guard
Flare
was
Scarab
there.
is destroyed, Jaden takes 400 damage. And loses the duel. And if that second attack would have been negated, we still could have won with a 3rd attack off Defender because Dark City would have given it a boost to 1100, and we still would have won. And then after all this, I mean, if he didn't lose, we just summon out Dogma anyway. It's ridiculous. It is crazy. It's Jaden's turn, and the penultimate turn of the duel. He draws and gets Neospace. The standby phase occurs and the effect of Dogma activates.
Why did he
which
think
halves
Neospace
Jaden's
did
life
before?
points. Jaden activates
Yes,
his brand
increase
new
attack.
field spell, Neospace. This destroys Aster's Dark City, due to only one field spell being able to be live on the field at a time. Neospace increases the attack of fusion monsters by 500 that used elemental hero Neos as a fusion material. As well, Neos fusion monsters don't return back to the extra deck at the end of the turn.
Yeah, I think that's a
Jaden
big part.
tributes his 2 hero kids to summon elemental hero Neos. He contact fuses Neos with Flare Scarab to summon elemental hero Flare Neos. Flare Neos gains 400 attack for every spell and trap on the field. Since there are 3, it gains 1200 attack. As well, Neospace increases its attack by 500. Jaden enters his battle phase and attacks Dogma. Aster in response activates his D-Shield, which switches Dogma into defense and then equips itself to it. Now, while equipped, the monster can't be destroyed by battle. Jaden ends his turn. It's Aster's turn, and the final turn of
Wait,
the
how
build.
does he loses
draws
in
and
his turn?
gets
I don't
Heavy
remember
Storm
this.
Blade. Aster switches Dogma into attack. He equips Heavy Storm Blade onto Dogma. Now, while this card is equipped, when Dogma attacks, it will destroy all other spells and traps on the field. Aster enters his battle phase and orders.
If you think
Dogma
about
to
it, this is
attack
just
Flare
Jaden
Neos.
showing
Heavy
off his
Storm
OCs
Blade's
to Aster
effect
Phoenix.
activates, destroying Neospace and spell calling. Flare Neos
That's right,
uses
he actually
13
made
attack.
them, right?
Now,
Those are
this
his
would be game
OCs.
for Aster. However, unfortunately, since Aster destroyed a set spell calling due to its effect when it's sent to the grave, it allows Jaden to set any 2 spell cards from his deck straight to the field.
What the?
He sets 2 mysterious spell cards. Aster was unaware of this play, but it doesn't really matter anyway because the attack couldn't be cancelled. So, since it's now weaker than Flare Neos, it crashes and destroys itself. Aster's life points drop to
Those 2
0.
mysterious cards
Jaden
won the game.
wins the duel.
最初の手抜きデュエルはノーカウント。これで1勝1敗だ。
Oh.
いずれ決着をつけよう。
And then they never dueled
Yeah,
again.
they never
Honestly,
dueled
with
again.
this duel, Aster had so many opportunities to win. There were so many different moments. It did feel a lot like the animators was like, ooh, ignore that, ignore this. We need Jaden to win this duel. So, ooh. And the fact that Jaden had to use so many draw cards as well. I know it's a staple of Yu-Gi-Oh! Card of Sanctity draw 6 cards in the old one, but Bubble Man draw 2, into Pot of Greed draw 2.
Yeah, that's what makes it feel like unearned.
Charity, add the discard
Like,
cards
you know,
back
not
hand.
earned.
Oh,
The opposite of
could Aster
earned.
have won this duel? Yes.
Earned.
Many times. I hope you guys all enjoyed. I had a lot of fun making this one. Let me know in the comment section below any misplays or things like that you might have noticed that I didn't. But other than that,
I can
check out
imagine
these
noticing
videos if you
something that he
fancy. If not,
didn't.
subscribe to the channel for more of this kind of content. All the best. Bye everyone. Opportunities to win. There were so many different moments. It did
ノーカウント。これで1勝1敗だ。
Alright, that's a perfect like stop there. That's amazing. That's amazing. That was a really cool analysis because I always assume that wait, why is Jaden better? But yes, there were so many plays that Aster could have done better, and this honestly feels like a disservice to Aster. This could have been scripted better. I don't know. I'm not like a scriptwriter or like anything, but like I don't like this quote unquote. Not quote unquote. I'm making it up right now. It feels like a plot hole. Honestly, it feels like a plot hole. And that was a great deep dive. Yeah. That's like that. I was wondering, right? Why it's so long? But it's because there were so many things that could have been different in these 3 duels. So yeah, it makes perfect sense. You will think in season 4 they will duel one more time, but nope. They basically don't interact again, which is crazy. Yeah. Neos fusions look so sick. Pity most of them are underpowered and hard to summon. Yep. Or hard to summon. Yeah. That sucks because the concept is so cool, but they are just not good. It would be cool if they get retrains to make them, you know, playable in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! It would be really cool. So yeah, thank you so much for recommending the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.